Hello everybody! Welcome to Akashi Review, where I review movies, dramas that you don't want to waste your time watching. I'll give you synopsis, shorts review along with my thoughts and opinions, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now let's go into the review. Hello everybody, Akashi here. So today I'm going to be reviewing the K-drama called When My Love Blooms. And it's so obvious why I watched this drama is because Park Ji-young is in there. Actually not, it's also Yoo Ji Tae. You know, I've seen some of his dramas before and I actually liked him, and like going way back, I've seen him back when he was young and I was a kid then. But I'm going to be going over the cast with you guys, the synopsis, and the first 2 episodes with you guys. So let's go on and jump into it. So as for the cast, we have Yoo Ji Tae playing the older version in his 40s. He plays Han Jae-hyung, and Park Ji-young playing the younger version of him. And then we have Lee Bo-young playing Yoo Ji-soo, the older version. And then we have Chung Song-nim playing the younger version. And obviously there's tons of other people, but for me it revolves around them, so I just focus on them. But the synopsis is 20 years ago, Yoo Ji-soo fell in love with the man who made her heart sing. As a freshman in College of Music studying into music, Ji-soo didn't expect to catch the eye of Han Jae-hyung, a popular headstrong law student, and but she actually did fall in love with him. Falling for him as quickly as he fell for her, the two experienced one of the most beautiful moments together as their first love. But like so many things, so many first love, their first love didn't last forever. Now in her 40s, Ji-soo is a single mother working a contract job in a desperate attempt to make ends meet, while Jae-hyung, on the other hand, is a successful and businessman who pursued wealth and honor and all of it. Eventually, they meet again, and Jae-hyung is no longer the man he used to be, and he like the headstrong kid he used to be. But when fate brings the two of them back together, he recognizes her immediately, and suddenly they are back into each other's life, and they're granted to this opportunity to start all over. But it's like they've been away for so long. Can they rekindle and go back to the love they had back then, or become the people they were back then, and what made them change so much in the past 20 years? So, recap from episode 1 and 2. The drama starts us off with Han Jae-hyung in his 40s, and he's leaving prison. And we learn that he was taken to prison in the first place because he took a fall for a chaebol corporation he worked for. We also get to see Yoo Ji-soo in her 40s as she plays the piano at a nice hotel restaurant when she's wearing a mask so that nobody can recognize her. Both of their lives seems pretty messed up, and they suffered a lot in this current time. And then we flash back to 1993 where they are a college student. And it's freaking hilarious because Ji-young wasn't even born yet. Anyways, there's a protest happening at the college where Ji-soo goes to, and it starts to get violent, and the police starts to throw like these tear gas. Ji-soo gets trampled onto the ground, and she's like lost, not knowing what to do. And then Jae-hyung comes to the rescue. He helps bandage up her hand, and he leaves his handkerchief he takes off his handkerchief from his face and wraps it around her hand, revealing his face to her, and then he leaves. At that moment, she starts looking for him as she immediately likes him, falls for him first sight. And she finally gets to meet her again, but he ignores her, and which like he's just pretending. He starts to like her eventually, but he's just holding back and all this stuff like that. And then we jump into the present time where their characters are very different from when they were young. Back then, Jae-hyung was like a part of this protest, and he was on the side of it, and he was on the side of the protest and all this stuff like that. Now he's on the opposite side where he's looking at protesters from his office, and he's just trying to like, no, these protesters are stupid. So we find out that he's a rich chaebol's son-in-law, and he has a son with a rich wife, but their marriage doesn't seem happy as they're not together, and his wife wants things differently while he wants things differently. And then we get to see Jisoo, her life, where she's living so difficult compared to Jaehyung. She has gone through prison before with the criminal background. She went through a horrible divorce, struggling to support herself and getting full custody of her son, taking care of her son. And her father is in a nursing home, and she's trying to pay for that too. But she still stayed true to herself, as she wants to study into music and she loves the piano. That's why she still does like a part-time job playing the piano, because that's what she always loved. But we don't know what happened that got them both to be in that situation they are in the 40s. After showing that, we jump right back into the past, where Jisoo is now trying to pursue to win Jaehyung, as he shows like a little bit interest in her, and she tells him that she's going to do whatever it takes to get him to date her, to like her back. And then it jumps back and forth, and we see present time of unhappy, difficult times, and it seems like Jaehyung, he hasn't forgotten about Jisoo, and he's still looking for her, as he spots a woman at a hotel playing the piano, and he wanders back to if it's her, and then eventually they end up actually meeting at their son's school, when Jaehyung's son, he calls Jisoo's son a loser. They always make fun of him, and it ticked off the son, where the son actually got upset and he threw a chair at Jaehyung's son. This brought both parents back to the school, and when they both meet, eventually Jaehyung was gonna go with pressing charges to Jisoo, but the moment he met her, he realized who she was, and he pulled back the charges, and he realized his son was raised and spoiled, and his son was not a good son and everything like that, and he just wants to let everything go. He feels ashamed now about himself, that he's lived his life a lie, because by seeing Jisoo, it pretty much hit him again that who have I become, And so eventually he follows her, and they meet again, and he has a lot of question of why did she disappear, and she tells him she doesn't want to go back into the past, and she wants to just let it all go, And then eventually, since they meet here at the end of episode 1 and then episode 2, we get to see more of them reflecting back to the past with the current time of how their love started, and they slowly fall in love, and we get to slowly see what actually happened to them and how they fell apart, and now he's starting to change from who he was, how his wife compared that, you were a man who can easily just fired people and not give a crap about their family, even if they have to make ends meet to raise their family. You don't care. You never give a crap about that stuff, and all of a sudden you care. So this is where we get to see like what did Jaehyung turn into, and Jisoo, it's kind of like what happened to her marriage falling out. Why did she went to jail? What happened? Why did she drop out of school? And according to Jaehyung, she disappeared. And why did she disappear? So there's a lot of questions that eventually we're gonna go into the past, where it's gonna catch us up to the present time of what actually happened to them. And eventually, yes, there's still love in between the two of them, and it's like an opportunity for, in a way, my guess, for Jaehyung to pretty much snap out of it and be like, this is the type of person you used to be before, like what happened, you were like this headstrong, committed man, and all of a sudden you fall into money, that's pretty much what his character looks like. But we'll see what happens. It's melodramatic, but not too melodramatic, where to the point where you're just like, everything is so sad. It's not, honestly. Like, I've seen a lot of Yoo Ji Tae's drama. He does have melodramatic dramas, but the thing is that his acting is so good that like some scenes is so intense, and he's so good at acting that you don't really get that whole melodramatic. As compared to, I understand why they pick Lee Bo-young, because she's done melodramatic dramas before, and damn, she can make it melodramatic, sad, heartbreaking, and you're just like, oh my god, it's so dragging, it's just so melodramatic. I get it, she can do that. But with the mix with Yoo Ji Tae, he's a little bit different, so I like to see how it's gonna turn out, because it's like a mix of every little thing. But I don't know, I mean, I really I'm curious of what drew them apart, so I am going to I'm gonna let it sit a little while before I actually dig into it to find out what happened between them and all this stuff like that, and how they're gonna get back together and all this stuff like that. But I don't want to blabber on for too long, and so I'm just gonna end it there with the review of When My Love Blooms, the recaps of the first 2 episodes. And that's it for today, and I'll see you guys next time.